Welcome to a new episode of the Immigrant Diaries. This is episode 4, The Weight of Tomorrow. Amaka never planned to fall in love. Not here, not now. But Akin was different. Gentle, steady, a man who understood the burden she carried because he carried his own. They met at a friend's gathering in Kent. Amid paper plates of jollof and the sound of laughter, Akin leaned close and asked if she was okay. That simple question was the first time Amaka felt truly seen. They talked, they prayed, they planned, and a year later, Amaka walked down the aisle in a borrowed lace dress and second-hand shoes. It wasn't the wedding she once dreamt of, but it was real, it was love, and it was also survival. Because through Akin's visa, Amaka could finally breathe. She switched from a graduate visa to a dependent, buying herself more time. Love and paper, both were necessary. Both would shape everything that came after. 3 months after the wedding, Amaka felt the signs of pregnancy, dizziness, nausea, a missed period, and the scan confirmed it. Twins, a boy and a girl. Her joy was mixed with fear. How could they raise children here when every bill was a mountain and every pound had wings? The months dragged. Her feet swelled. Her back ached. Yet, through it all, Akin was there, cooking, singing Yoruba lullabies, whispering promises to the children she carried. And then one winter morning, they arrived. 2 tiny warriors, Amarachi and Ayomide. Our arms were full, but our heart was fuller. Still, behind our smile was the quiet question every immigrant mother carries. How am I going to raise these children well in a land that doesn't see me? Motherhood was harder than Amaka imagined. Long nights, endless bills, and the heavy fog of exhaustion. One Monday morning, she overslept after a night shift. The twins were late to school again. Amarachi stumbled on the stairs, bruising her arm. That bruise was enough. The school called. Then social services. The word was like fire in her chest. Neglect. Neglect? She was working herself into the ground for these children. She was giving them everything. That night she wept, terrified that the system could take away the only joy she had left. Akin held her hand. We won't lose them, he whispered. God didn't bring us this far to leave us now. But even in his eyes, she saw the fear. Amaka sat frozen in the tiny interview room at the council office. Across the table, 2 social workers spoke gently, but their words pierced her like knives. We've received reports of neglect, one said. Neglect? Amaka wanted to scream. Didn't they know the double shifts she worked? Didn't they know the nights she stayed awake watching her children breathe? She explained through tears, showed them her payslips, described the reality of a mother juggling survival and love in a land that never seemed to give her rest. Days turned into weeks of visits, questions, and inspections. Finally, one evening, the letter arrived. Case closed. The children would stay. Amaka clutched them both that night, rocking them until dawn. She whispered over and over, "No one will ever take you from me. No one will ever take you from me." The twins were 5 years old when the call came from Nigeria. Her father had died. The man who once sold his prized radio to pay her exam fees. The man who called her Ogochukwu, God's glory. Gone. She couldn't even afford the flight back home. she sent money instead, enough for a simple burial. Her only comfort was knowing that her siblings were no longer in Nigeria. One in Canada, one in UK, one in Ireland. Amaka had worked herself dry to help all of them live. And now she stood alone in her kitchen, phone pressed to her chest, whispering goodbye in silence. The years rolled on. The twins started school. Bills stacked like bricks. And Akin's 5-year care visa was reaching its end. They had saved every spare pound for the indefinite leave to remain fee, nearly £3,000. They submitted the application with trembling fingers. Weeks passed. Then the letter came. Refused. A missing document, a technicality, one line in a system that didn't know their sleepless nights, their sacrifices, their prayers. Without indefinite leave to remain, Aki's right to work would vanish. Without work, there would be no rent. Without rent, there would be no home. Amaka stared at the letter. Bills scattered all around her. Our twins' laughter echoing faintly in the next room. Her world was collapsing again.